So I was streaming, and somebody came up in the chat, was like, yo, dude, you're playing RuneScape? I was like, yeah, dude, I'm playing RuneScape. And they were really surprised I was playing RuneScape. Then that made me think of like some other comment I saw. I was like, yo, dude, what if we decided to like split RuneScape into a new RuneScape so that the old RuneScape that had all the microtransactions no longer had all the people that have microtransactions? Then you can have a brand new game, nice, pure, and free of the whales. And that really got me thinking, why would that happen? Why would that be a good thing for the game? And I know it's a really popular topic. People talk about this all the time in the community, and I see it in Reddit threads, I see it on Discord, I see it in my own comment section on my channel, and I really want to talk about it. This was a great opportunity to, and I want to share my thoughts with you. Leave a comment down below if you think that RuneScape should have separate servers, if you think a new server would be a good idea, would be a bad idea, and it's overall, if you like this kind of content, be sure to leave me a like. You're a stranger on the internet that I would love to know if you like this kind of content, because I'm not going to make kind of content if you don't like it. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, check out the live streams. I have a lot of fun. They're a good time. And let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a good game now. Everybody's now all the MTX stuff's gone. It's just a good game. I do keep saying these comments though. I do keep seeing these comments though, of like everybody asking for new servers. Like, they should definitely just make new servers because there have been 20 years of MTX added to the game, right? My thoughts on that is that I definitely understand someone's point of view of wanting to remake servers because there's a lot of players have had a lot of advantages to playing this game, right? And playing away without that have been so many different MTX or advantage giving, XP boosting, item providing, gold providing means to get into the game, right? And I see their point. It makes sense why you would ask for something like that. I believe in practice, though, it would fail. Genuinely, I think it would fail. And it's not because it's not a bad idea. I think that it would not have any... I just don't see how it would work when there's so... It would segment... You would have old school, then I guess original RuneScape, and then newscape. So then now you're splitting a player base into 3 ways, and you're splitting a game that's already small, relatively speaking, in like what it used to be, to end up, well, it's not even that small. You have 35,000 to 40,000 people playing at any time. That's not really that small. So it would split down to probably like 40. And then it's also, the thing is this though, right? Most of the comments I see of that are people mentioning this are the same people who are like, I'll play the game when MTX is gone. I'll play the game when they're making combat changes. I'll play the game when there's this added in. I'll play the game in this thing. And then it's like, it's always those same people that say that, right? And to be honest, it's mostly coming from YouTube comments and Reddit comments. And YouTube comments and Reddit comments are people that are already the 1% of the 1% that are playing a video game, that are invested into a game to do that. I've met a lot of people unsuspectingly with my job in the military that I'm like, hey, dude, what do you like to do? I like to play video games. Oh, what games do you play? I like to play RuneScape. And then there's always that weird interact, like, which one? You like playing, like, the old one or, like, the new one? And a lot of folks I've met play RuneScape 3. And I asked them, like, oh, why do you play this one? Oh, I actually played both of them. But they're casual players, bro. They're not in here. They're not doing a lot. They're genuinely just casual, logging in every now and then. They logged in for bonus XP, log in for a seasonal event, log in when there's a boss or content that is around their level that they can do, and they'll come and go. That is like the majority of the player base. There's a lot of people who are like logging in for like a couple hours every other day, maybe every other week, but they're still logging in. They're almost max. I've been doing over the last 3 years. They're very calm. I was the same way for a very long time until I decided, like, you know, I want to make content on it. And I started putting way more hours into this game. So it was always like that. But I just think if you end up making a new server, there's a lot of people who won't transfer over to that. Like, you have a lot of Iron Men on this server who are completely maxed, completely trimmed, or completely finishing whatever goal. They got all the items they need to do. Why would they transfer over to another server that has that? Again, it would probably just end up being a lot of people making alt accounts. And you're just recycling the same people over and over. There's no real new blood. That's probably more of like an MMO genre problem in general. But I don't see how splitting the player base more and more and more would cause this to be a positive thing in, at least now. Maybe in like 2 years. Maybe in like 2 years after they've implemented all these changes and they've implemented and revamped like the combat that they're doing right now, revamping the early game, adding in Haven Hive, adding in a bunch of other things. But then also in a year, all the items that people had from doing MTX stuff are going to be gone. But again, you got the levels and stuff like that. But a lot of the achievements, in my opinion, the achievements that matter in this game, in our game, a lot of the things that matter genuinely are like skills and the money that people mostly got from MTX. It's like, again, another 1% of the player base that made probably a lot of money from it. Maybe I'm talking like maybe like a couple thousand players out of like the 40 to 50,000 that play regularly, right? Those guys made a lot of money because they were whales. You will have your whales that spend a lot of money on it, and then it's just like everybody else who's just there. They maybe got a couple levels from a couple things. In most modern settings, like that's not terrible. Like I've always thought, like if you took RuneScape and you made it if it was a whole separate IP, but it's same exact systems, same exact stuff, same exact monetization practices, it'd be a pretty good game. It just didn't have the RuneScape name. It would still be probably a pretty successful game because the game loop and the core mechanics of everything that is there are good. Like they're good. So that's always been my opinion on it. I don't think splitting the player base would solve the problem, especially not now. I don't think that would solve anything. I do firmly believe that if they did it in a few years, when it fixed everything and there's like a very good fresh coat of paint, they could maybe do it. But I think if they just focused on making the current game good, it'll bring new people in. It'll bring people in to try for the very first time because all they're trying to do, in my opinion right now, they gotta save their PR. That's why they rebranded the logo. That's why they rebranded like everything. That's why they got a new CEO. That's why they're trying to do a facelift for all the content. It's just a lot of stuff they're trying to fix up. And it's like, I think that's the important bit. So that's always my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it. I've seen a lot of comments on these things. I've seen a lot of people mention these things, but it's always the people that are like, I'll do it when they do this. I'll do it when you do this. Like, dude, it's the same people that are like, polls have ruined old school RuneScape. Polls have ruined this. Polls, like, I hate sailing. I hate anything that's like making this game easier. I think those people are just way too. It can be a bit much, a bit much. But yeah, those are my thoughts. This is my opinion. This is my opinion, bro. That's genuinely.